Hello and welcome to WeatherWise. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Vince Condella. Let's define some terms here because especially in the spring and summer, there is a big difference between a lake breeze and a wind off the lake. They are not the same. And a lot of times you will hear the weather person, the forecaster, kind of interchanging these two, but they are very, very different. A wind off the lake, by the way, I'm talking about wind direction either out of the northeast, the east, or the southeast. And we know that obviously in the spring and especially early summer, that can make for some very, very chilly temperatures right along Lake Michigan shoreline. But a true lake breeze is driven strictly by thermal differences, temperature differences between the lake and the land. Whereas a wind off the lake can oftentimes be driven by pressure differences on a scale, let's say 1,000 miles or more. A lake breeze is a much more localized thing. Here's what I'm talking about. Let's first talk about a larger weather system. Let's say we're getting squeezed between two pressure systems. High pressure to the north, in this example, low pressure to the south, although they could be in different locations here. But when you have this kind of a situation with high to the north, low to the south, it's perfect for setting up a wind off the lake. With high pressure, the winds turn in a clockwise direction, and with low pressure, they rotate in a counterclockwise direction. So if we're squeezed between these two, it means we'll get a wind generally from an easterly direction. And the bigger the pressure difference is between the two of these, the stronger that wind will be. We call that a pressure gradient, and it can produce quite a wind off the lake and quite a chill. But that's not a true lake breeze. A lake breeze here is something quite local that maybe is only 50 miles to 70 miles or so in size. Let's take a situation where we have a nice sunny day in the spring and in the summer. In that particular case, the land warms up, but the Lake Michigan water temperature is quite cold, as you know, so the air that sits over that water is cool, and that cooler air moves inland to take the place of the warm air. A better way to look at this is kind of take a side view of all of this. Here we have southeast Wisconsin on your left, and of course Lake Michigan here on the right. There's our sunshine. You know, the heat capacity of water is pretty large, so you can have a sunny day just bearing down on that water, and it's not going to warm up much. However, if sunshine bears down on the land, that land will warm up. And with warm air, it's less dense. You can think of it as not weighing as much as the surrounding air, so warm air rises. As it rises, the cooler air that's sitting out over Lake Michigan, because remember, Lake Michigan's water temperature is quite cold. There's a lot of cool air right above that lake. Well, as the warm air rises over the land, the cool air over the water rushes in to take its place, and that produces our wind off the lake, only in this case, a fairly light lake breeze. So this is something thermally driven. Either way, whether it's produced on a larger scale by pressure differences or whether it's produced on a smaller scale by a difference in temperature from the land over the lake, either way, it still will mean some pretty chilly temperatures right along Lake Michigan's shoreline. That's it for WeatherWise. I hope to see you on Fox 6 News.